Hey, what's going on, my friend? Eric Wooten here. Welcome to Relationshots, the place to get practical relationship advice that actually will work in a relationship, if you can imagine that. If you want a free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below. Don't stop now. You can do that at the end of the video. So today, I want to talk about how to build intimacy with an avoidant partner. If you're not familiar with attachment styles, you can check out some of my old videos on that. But an avoidant attachment style is one that just generally likes independence, likes distance, is not that comfortable with closeness and intimacy, and probably doesn't want as much intimacy in the relationship as you do if you're not an avoidant attachment person. But here's the thing. It can be confusing to be in a relationship with them. You feel like sometimes 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I feel like we're getting close. Now they want distance, and it can be confusing. It can make you feel lonely, rejected, abandoned. Here's the reality. Even though it looks like an avoidant partner does not want intimacy, they actually have the same intimacy needs as anybody. They just express it in different ways. So what I want to do in this video is I want to give you 5 ways to increase intimacy with an avoidant partner if you're in a relationship with one. Before we jump into that, listen, if you need help in your relationship, maybe you're dealing with an avoidant or you got some other struggles, man, we got a membership community for married couples that will give you all the support and all the tools that you need. Sometimes you're having trouble with your spouse and you just need some other people for support, encouragement. I encourage you to be a part of the community. You can see links and information on that below as well. All right, let's get to it. 5 ways that you can increase intimacy with an avoidant partner. Number 1, be patient. Listen, you've probably heard the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Listen, you can't expect somebody who has developed an attachment style as a way to survive in life to all of a sudden meet you, and because you're so wonderful, they just ditch their attachment style overnight. That's not going to happen. What you need to do is you need to be consistent. What you need to do is you need to be patient. What you need to do is you need to accept them for who they are in the relationship, and over time, maybe they will begin to desire a little more intimacy and closeness. But if you try to rush them, if they feel like you're trying to hurry up, listen, I'm here, I love you, I care about you, now ditch all that avoidance stuff, let's be close, they're going to feel that pressure, and that pressure is going to cause them to push away, which is going to exasperate what you really want to have happen, which is that closeness, and you're going to feel the distance. So be patient. Number 2, be a safe space. They need to feel like they are fully accepted for who they are now, even though ultimately we want them to move towards more of a secure attachment. But they need to know they're accepted now, and that you genuinely seek to understand why they have the perspective they have, why they have the need for distance, need for independence, don't want to depend on anybody. You need to understand why that is, and as you do that, you'll begin to create a safe space. What safety does for us is safety allows us to become more and more vulnerable in a relationship. If you're not creating a safe space, I promise you, you're never going to get what you want from an avoidant partner. If you become a safe space, over time, that safety will create an environment and atmosphere where they can be more vulnerable, where they can express themselves, where they can maybe take some risks they wouldn't normally take. But if you don't create a safe space, they're never going to open up. So what you need to do is you need to avoid criticisms, especially about their need for independence, their lack of dependence, their lack of emotionality or vulnerability. If you criticize any of those things, I promise you, you're not safe, and they will not open up. Thought number 3 is be less needy. Don't tune out. Listen, I'm not calling you needy per se. You might be, but I don't know that. What I'm saying is what you would assume are regular needs and expressions of love in a relationship may feel like neediness to somebody with an avoidant attachment style. Remember, they don't need the same level of closeness, nor do they always desire the same level of closeness that someone with a secure or anxious attachment is. So what you would think as a regular need and a regular desire and a regular responsibility in a relationship may feel like clinginess and neediness to them. So part of what you need to do is you need to understand what they are and are not comfortable with as far as closeness and intimacy, And it may be that you need to give them a little more space so that you don't come across as needy. Now, if you know you're needy and you're with an avoidant, good luck. Because you're going to need to learn how to temper back and maybe minimize the neediness that you have in a relationship. If you have an anxious attachment style and you're in a relationship with an avoidant attachment style, that's a recipe for fireworks, and probably one or both of you needs to move a little closer to secure if you're going to make that work. So don't be needy. You need to be less needy in a relationship in order to create the atmosphere where an avoidant partner will want to engage and become more emotionally connected. Number 4, don't be controlling. Now you're getting super offended. First I called you needy, now I'm calling you controlling. I'm not saying you are controlling. What I want to remind you is that independence, a lack of dependence, is important to somebody with an avoidant style. So just your natural desire to be close, your natural desire to know want to know what's going on in their life, some of the questions you may ask just for information and to connect can feel like you're trying to control the other person when all you're really trying to do, man, I'm just asking you questions to connect. I'm not asking you questions because I doubt you and I'm trying to control you. But you got to remember they value independence. And so if you're not getting the things that you feel like you need from them, here's our tendency. Whenever we're not getting the stuff we think we want or we need from our partners, our tendency is to control and manipulate in order to get what we want. So maybe we punish, maybe we reward, maybe we manipulate because we're trying to get the things that they're not giving us that we really want from them. But that's going to come across as controlling. And avoidants are highly sensitive to any behavior that may feel controlling. And when they feel that, they're going to do what they do best. They're going to push away and get distance, which is going to be the opposite of what you really want. So controlling behaviors will backfire on you. Not only will you not get the thing you're trying to control to get, but you will actually get more distance from them, which is not what you really want from the relationship. And number 5 is be independent. Now, this may not be normal from you depending on your attachment style. If you have an anxious attachment style, it's going to be hard for you to be independent because you want closeness. But what I'm telling you is if you are independent, that will be both comforting and attractive to somebody with an avoidant style because they will be reassured that you're not going to try to control them. So your independence will to them be some level of safety and security for the relationship. Now, if this is not normal for you, you may need to work on this. But some of the things that you're desiring from your avoidant partner, you may actually be able to get from outside friendships in a healthy way. And you can be independent. So what does this look like? Looks like you doing some stuff on your own. It's okay to go out and do some stuff on your own without them. They won't be sad. I'm not saying every time, but they won't be sad because they enjoy the independence. It may look like giving them some space on a daily basis, right? That they value that space. And so you give them some space. If you notice, let's say you both work out of the home and you notice every time you come down and pop your head in to say hi, they seem annoyed. That's a pretty good indicator, not that they don't like you, but that when they get in a rhythm or they need their space, they don't like somebody butting into their space. What does that mean? That means don't yell their name from the other room. Don't be trying to have conversations with them when you're in a different room. Let them have their space. Let them have some transition time from being not social to being social again. They can't just go from the space they need and the refueling on their own to all of a sudden into a party atmosphere and they want to talk and all that kind of stuff. You've got to give them some space. But here, listen, your independence has to be genuine, because if you're trying to be independent as some manipulative technique that if you pull away, maybe they'll come after you or pursue you, good luck. They're not going to do it because they like your independence. So it's going to backfire on you because you're trying to be independent, hoping that that will cause them to be more dependent and cling more to you. It's not going to happen. So this has to be genuine independence where you're saying, you know what? We have a relationship, but we're also independent people and we do some stuff on our own. That will be reassuring to an avoidant partner. So there you go. 5 ways that you can increase intimacy with an avoidant partner by avoiding some things and by being independent in the relationship. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you've noticed this in your relationship, if you're an avoidant attachment person, then drop a comment. Let us know. Are we on the right track here? What are some other things you desire in a relationship that make you feel good about the relationship? Drop a comment. Let's have a conversation. Again, if we can help you in any area of your relationship, whether it's resources, whether it's community, shoot us a message. We'd love to walk with you in your relationship journey. Until next time, I'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.